Doors open at a shopping mall launch. Security forms a human wall. Identical sealed boxes, $30 each, vanish in minutes. Someone cheers, someone cries. This isn't crypto. It isn't sneakers. In 6 months, this toy helped mint $418 million, and sales were even paused in one country. A fluffy monster with 9 sharp teeth and a smile that's half sweet, half unhinged. Meet Labubu, proof that surprise can be engineered and monetized. Here's how a $30 blind box and 1 in 72 odds built a toy empire, and why your wallet keeps playing. Labubu was born in 2015 from the sketchbooks of Hong Kong's born artist Kasing Lung. Think European and Nordic fairy tale mischief, forest spirit vibe, big eyes, pointed ears, 9 tiny teeth that turn a smile into a signature. Cute, but just dangerous enough to be unforgettable. For a while, it lived in limited art runs. Then in 2019, China's pop culture giant Pop Mart put Labubu into its blind boxes, sealed packs where you don't know which figure you're buying. The catalog exploded, 300 plus variants from keychains to large display pieces. One special edition, a 4-foot mint green Labubu, reportedly fetched around $170,000 at an auction. Fans called the vibe comforting chaos, nostalgia wrapped in a little monster energy. Perfect for the internet. Here's the engine most people feel but rarely name: variable reward. Every blind box is a small bet. Most pulls are common, some are rare, a few are secret chase figures. Odds like 1 in 72. That uncertainty builds a ritual. You're paying for anticipation as much as the collectible and the paint. Now, stack the levers. Unknown outcome equals dopamine spike right before the reveal. Scarcity by design leads to limited drops, seasonal sets, brand collapse. Completion urge leads to a checklist that's always one short. Social proof is like your win becomes content others share. This isn't accidental, it's behavioral design. The toy is the product, the feeling is the business. So, who flipped the switch from cult to culture? The viral ignition arrived in April 2024. Lisa from BLACKPINK was spotted with a Labubu keychain on her bag. One paparazzi photo and the weird little gremlin jumped from collector circles to mainstream fashion. Soon, Rihanna, Cher, and others were seen with Labubu pieces as playful accessories. That single shift reframed the object, not a kid's toy, an accessory. Street-style posts place Labubu next to luxury wallets. Fashion TikTok stitched unboxings into outfit reels. The message was clear. It signals taste, irony, and insider status. The more surreal the pairing, designer purse plus goblin plush, the faster it spread. Cute sells, but scale needs a system. Labubu didn't just ride social, it fed it. Blind boxes are built for short-form video. Tear the seal, hold your breath, reveal the fate. Every clip has a beginning cut, middle reveal, and twist, common or chase. By mid-2025, Labubu had well over 1 million posts on TikTok alone. Each ecstatic pull trained the algorithm to show more Labubu to more people. Missed the chase? That's another video. Round 2. The loop is self-funding. Content drives purchases, purchases create content. Meanwhile, the Kidult tribe, adults collecting for joy, nostalgia, and identity, made Labubu visible everywhere. It clipped onto backpacks and luxury totes alike. Online, fans traded duplicates to complete sets and flex shelf rainbows. The fandom made the marketing free. How did Labubu get this famous? Not by accident, and not just because it's cute. The rise was powered by a stack of behavioral levers that critics call dark marketing: variable rewards, blind box odds, engineered scarcity, limited drops, countdowns, region exclusives, and FOMO amplified by algorithms. Packaging slows the reveal so videos hit that perfect 3-act beat. Robo-shops turn buying into a performance. The aftermarket posts the price jump that makes every box feel like a tiny option trade. Add a celebrity spark, micro-influencer seeding, and trade nights that keep the story social, and you've got a machine where feelings, anticipation, near misses, bragging rights do the distribution. Is it illegal? No. Is it gambling adjacent? Often. The brand sells designer toys, the system sells hope, and hope scales faster than any ad budget. Behind the cute chaos is a serious business. Pop Mart's 2024 revenue surged to roughly $1.8 billion, with Labubu as the headliner. Profits roughly tripled at the peak. In just the first half of 2025, Labubu-related products alone generated about $418 million in sales, on track to triple year-on-year as the craze went global. Nearly 40% of revenue now comes from outside mainland China, proving it's not just a domestic trend. Expansion followed flagship and robo-shop vending machines across Asia, Europe, and North America. A boutique near the Louvre sold French theme exclusive to tourists. Collaborations rolled with household names, Coca-Cola, hit anime franchises, and more. Then there's the aftermarket, retail around $30. Coveted pulls flip for 2 to 3 times on resale platforms. High-end auctions for ultra-rare pieces push into 5 and 6 figures. Pop Mart monetizes the first sale. The community monetizes the story after. That's price signal whispers to newcomers. This isn't just a toy. It's an asset, or at least it feels like one. Pop Mart doesn't sell one character. It sells odds. Retailers buy sealed cases with a known mix. Collectors chase the set. Not a single SKU, so sell-through stays high and markdowns stay low. One mold spawns many paint jobs, fresh to the eye, cheap to produce. The average basket quietly climbs from 1 box to 2. Okay, 3, because the almost hit need a rematch. Then the aftermarket does free marketing. When a $30 pull flips for $60, every buyer reframes the next box as a tiny option trade. High margins on small, durable items bankroll the real flywheel, new artists, higher-end sculpts, pop-ups, and that global army of robo-shops, cute on the shelf, ruthless on the spreadsheet. When demand outruns supply, civility cracks, launch days became overnight queues. Videos surfaced of mall fights over the last box. At one point in May 2025, after repeated incidents, a major market paused all Labubu sales across its stores for safety. Meanwhile, the drop calendar kept pressure high. Miss a release? See you on resale for double. The tension that sells toys can also strain communities, and Pop Mart had to adjust supply without killing the thrill. Success attracts shadows. Counterfeit rings manufactured thousands of fake Labubu pieces, with seizures totaling millions in value. The brand fired back with lawsuits and raids. Even a convenience chain got named for selling knockoffs. Then the strangest subplot: moral panic, as Labubu saturated feeds, rumors, flared demonic doll, bad luck, spirit magnet. A regional authority in the Middle East even banned sales in July 2025. After sensational local reports elsewhere, lawmakers floated a national ban on aesthetic grounds. No evidence, just anxiety. Ironically, scandal poured gasoline on curiosity. The monster that smiled too wide became a conversation no one could ignore. 3 converging laws made Labubu inevitable. 1. Design memory law. Characters that read at thumbnail size win the feed. Big eyes, 9 teeth, mischievous silhouette, distinct in half a second. 2. Surprise compounding. Variable reward plus engineered scarcity plus community equals exponential repeat behavior. Every miss funds the next try. Every hit funds a post. 3. Signal stacking. Celebrity support plus fashion adoption plus aftermarket pricing tells the undecided. This is culturally important, but the risks are embedded. Drop fatigue, backlash against gamified shopping, counterfeits eroding trust. So what did a tiny monster really sell us? Not just plastic, not just plush. Agency. The feeling that today might be your rare pull, that your back charm proves you were early, that your shelf tells a story only you could complete. In a noisy world, Labubu bottled surprise and priced it perfectly. If this pulled back the curtain on how a smiling gremlin hacked psychology and built a billion-dollar engine, like, subscribe, and send this to the one friend who swears they're done after this box. Drop your take in the comments.